Hi everyone. Today I will explain chapter 8 spherical aberration. Spherical aberration, a common defect in lens is that optical beam that incidents on one side of the lens in parallel way to its principal axis doesn't converge at one point. The rays passing through the points near to the center of the lens from further image from the lens we can show I2. Then the image formed from the rays that pass through the points near to the edge of the lens 1. So the image formed by these kind of lenses don't have defined parameters and details. And this defect in lenses is called spherical aberration, which is one of the lens defects that result from the not converging of the light rays incidence in parallel way to principal axis and that refract from the lens at one focus point. Chromatic aberration. Chromatic aberration caused by convergent lens. Carefully, if you remember, we have the two kind of lenses, divergent and convergent lens. Different wavelength of the light focus at different point. Shorter wavelength, such as violet, is colors, are focused closer to lens than longer wavelength, such as red. If you remember, we have when we are sending the white color on the one prisms, it is separate each all color. Look at the figure. Look at this red color. The first one is meaning longer wavelength, and it will be moving the stepwise. And violet color is shorter wavelengths. Application of the lenses. Application of the lenses, we have the two kind of eye signals. First, myope. Myope is meaning nearsightedness. They cannot see clearly near their eyes. The inability of the eye to see far objects clear, their image from in front of the retina, and it's controlled by using divergent lenses. If you look at this, the image in front of the retina, and when you are using the lenses, it will stay center of the retina. Secondly, hypermyope. For its meaning farsighted. They are not seeing the far away the image and pictures. The inability of the eye to see close object clear, the image form behind the retina, and its retreat using the convergent lens. Be carefully. If your eyes has the problem for you cannot see the far away, you must use convergent lens. But if you cannot see near, you must use divergent lens. If you look at this figure, first one is A, the image behind of the retina before the using the glass, but when you are using the lenses, you will see the image on the retina. Another and last sickness, astigmatism. Astigmatism is the cause of this defect is the irregularity curvature of the cornea or the lens of the eye or both of them in different directions. The curvature might be larger in horizontal sections than it is in the vertical section since the group of horizontal and vertical lines don't converge in the focus cycle. In photograph device. In the daily life, we are using the many daily life, we are using the lens. For example, one of them is photograph device. The camera is small box having a convergent lens of or group of lenses in front of its work as convergent lens and its back from the inside a light sensitive film. Its meanings which represent the retina is placed. Optical instrument. Optical instrument we have the two main parts. First is simple magnifier Second, complex or compact magnifier. Simple magnifier, a convergent lens of short focal length used to form virtual erect is meaning upright, and magnified is meaning the image bigger than the objects. For the small object, and that is done by placing it within the focal length of the lens. Second, compound microscopes. Microscope we are using in the daily life on the hospital, in the laboratory, and look like this. Compound microscope is used to see micro objects that cannot be seen by naked eye, such as bacteria and or small strip of plant leaf and stem tissue or virus. It consists of the two lenses, one objective lens with a short focal length, the small objective that needs to be examined or magnification it will be larger, is placed at a distance slightly greater than its focal length to get a real magnified inverted image. For example, look like this figure. Image transparent projector. If you remember, you learn what's meaning transparent. Transparent, when we are shining the any light in the one object, if it is passing the inside, is called transparent. Epidiascopes, which is used to show an image that is on a book's paper or any other image to magnify it on a screen or a wall and make its detail clear for the attendant. Overhead projector, moving image cartoon, for example, projective device in the cinema machine. The image of this device is always inverted, magnified, it will be bigger and real image, and the object is placed between the focus and twice the focal length. And last part, telescope. We have the three main kind of telescopes. Firstly, refracting telescopes. The final image formed of this object in the device is magnified, virtual and erect to the image formed in the objective. It is used to monitor the planets and it's called astronomical telescopes. Secondly, Galileo telescopes. This telescope is different from the astronomical telescopes that the image it forms is erect with respect to the original object and of shorter length. And last kind of telescopes, reflecting telescope. Reflecting telescope is the biggest telescope in the world, where a concave mirror is used instead of objective lens to converge the light, so the intensity of the reflected light of the surface of the mirror is greater than the intensity of the light passing through the lens.
Structure and working of the human eye. Nature has located the eye close to the brain so that its messages. Structure and working of the human eye. Nature has located the eye close to the brain so that its messages may arrive there quickly. The eyeball is completely surrounded by a layer of soft, fatty tissue and placed within a bony orbit where eye is protected. Seen from inside, the protected position of the eyeball within its funnel-shaped eye socket is shown still more clearly. Note that this is a white stalk called optic nerve which connects the eye to the brain and also these muscles which move the eyeball. This is the empty eye socket within the skull with its bony wall inside and a bony orbit in front. The capsule of the eyeball seems to have 3 layers. This thick, tough outer layer is called the sclera and serves to protect the delicate structure within. This transparent bulging portion is called the cornea. There is also a crystalline lens which is one of the main parts of the human eye. The second layer is called the choroid. It consists of 3 different zones. The first zone is called choroid proper and it is the part that carries nourishment to the tissues of the eye. The next zone is called the ciliary body. This is the broad ring-shaped band of thin muscle fibers which plays a very active and vital role in the vision adjustment of the eye. The third zone is a well-known iris which expands and contracts the pupil much like the diaphragm of the camera. The innermost layer of the eyeball is the retina, a very delicate membrane. The retina is actually the part of the optic nerve which transmits the light impulses to our brain. The retina is the most important and complex structure in the eyeball. It consists of a complicated arrangement of rods and cones which convert light waves into nerve impulses. Between the lens and the cornea is the aqueous humor, consisting mostly of water and a little salt. This largest space within the eye is filled with vitreous humor, consisting chiefly of water mixed with salt and albumin. It is a highly transparent jelly-like substance and plays a very important role in visual adjustment. The reflected light of the world enters through the crystal transparency of the cornea, pupil, aqueous humor, lens and vitreous humor, which is a clear gel-like substance that fills the middle of the eye and then projects on to the photoreceptors of the retina, which is a photosensitive tissue lying at the back of the eye. The macula is a very small area at the center of the retina that gives us a fine pinpoint center of vision. The area of retina surrounding the macula gives us a peripheral or side vision. The retina converts the light rays into the signals that are sent to the optic nerve and then to the brain. Continual adjustment of the pupil and lens regulates the entry and focusing of light. Every blink helps our eye's natural defense system. The tear film retains moisture and maintains visual acuity. Tear gland secretes the tear fluid, which contains important natural disinfectants to keep bacteria away, and it drains through the tear duct into the nose after flushing and cleaning the entire eye surface, and thus the tear system washes away impurities to maintain eye health.